Hello, I am going to walk you through the steps of making a face mask today. We have found that there is a need for these masks in our area, and a couple things right off the bat I want to mention. We know that these are not in replace of medical approved masks. What these are to help with is to go over the 95 masks that are approved so that doctors can change out the mask while keeping on the approved one and making that last longer. They would also be used for like dialysis patients or people in the hospital that are not necessarily in direct contact, but this mask would be able to help them. So first of all, the materials that we're using. The group here has decided to go, after with consulting a few doctors in the area, we decided to go with the ties for strapping rather than the elastic. You can use the elastic. They just find that these are a little bit more adjustable and comfortable. So we have the front panel, a 6 by 9 inch square, is quilting cotton. You can use, really we prefer like what you would use to make a quilt, or 100% cotton fabric. The backing is knit. This would be like a t-shirt material. With all materials, we're asking that they be new, in a new condition. Please do not go to the Goodwill or Savers or such places and buy used clothing. We really do need it to be new. The hospitals will sanitize these before they are used, and also with the straps, they'll be washable. There is not a nose piece in these. The reason being is that they can use their glasses to hold it down, and they'll have shields. And if you were to add pipe cleaners and different things, it makes them no longer washable. So no nose piece. And the strapping is also quilting cotton. This is, we're cutting these 2 inches by the width of fabric, which is about 44 inches. If you're using a package of the double fold extra wide 1/2 inch bias tape, that works perfect as well. And so that usually comes in 3-yard packages. If you have that, great. You could use it, cut it into 3 sections so it's 36 inches. That's just fine. If you're cutting from the width of fabric of a quilt or off the bolt, you could just cut off the selvages, and then it'll be somewhere in the neighborhood of 40 inches, and you need 2 of those for each mask. So again, we have the quilting cotton and knit, jersey knit. If you have a brand new t-shirt, awesome, use it. We just don't want to be using used fabric. Okay, so I'm going to start you off. First, what we're going to do is we're going to make the straps. So I'm going to bring you over here to the ironing board and show you a couple different ways that you can make them. So there's a couple different ways you can make the straps. If you have a bias tape maker, this is the size 25 blue one from Clover. You cut your strap at an angle, placing it in your bias tape maker, and it will fold it, and then you pull and iron as you go. If you do not have one of those, you can use this long pin that I have on the ironing board here. First, what you're going to do is take your fabric and fold it equally to the center. And then what I like to do is go ahead and press the end a little bit there to get started. And then I have my pin tucked in. It's a nice long, you need to use a nice long pin. And then go ahead and pin the top into your ironing board, like that. Get it started here. And as you pull it, it will fold it for you. So now, oops, I need to turn off that part. Okay, so my iron stays down. So now on the other end, I'm just pulling it through and letting it fold and press as I go. This is a great quick way to make the double fold. Well, actually, technically this is a single fold. You might need to, you don't want this surface to get too hot, so you might need to take a break and let it cool down so you don't scorch things. You would do the whole piece and then come back and fold it again and press the whole thing. Okay, and now I'll go back over to the sewing machine and show you the next steps. So the next step that we have our 2 straps done. So we're going to take the knit and jersey and we're going to place them right sides, knit and cotton, and place them right sides together. I pinned down the edge here to help. And what we're going to do on this one, I've already done it, but I've sewn a 1/4 inch seam on each side. So I'll go ahead and do that to the other side. Remove those pins. Then we're going to turn this piece right side out. And once you have that right side out, I'm just going to reach over here and press that quick so it's nice and flat. All right, so once you have that, we're going to add these 3 pleats on each side down where on the raw edges. So just take it over to your machine and simply fold it. So 3 times. And I just do it as I'm sewing. It's about a 1/4 inch fold. And we're going to do the same thing to the other side. And I like to sew keeping the quilting cotton on top since the knit likes to stretch a little bit. So we have the front of the mask made, and we're going to go ahead and take the strap that we made earlier, fold it in half, finding the center, and then just sandwich the raw edge, into there. And I like to use the clips. You can use pins, they work just as fine. Just make sure when you're sewing it, please don't sew over your pins. And then we're going to start at one end of the strap and simply sew all the way, folding it in half. So you're looking at it, you'll see that the stitch is about a little bit more than 1/8 of an inch in, and then making sure it caught on both the back and the front. And the ends, they'll be raw, and that's okay. Just cut off any loose threads that you have and clip the end. Repeat for the other side, and you will have a completed mask.